Welcome to Changemakers on WVCR 88.3 The Saint, where we profile changemakers in our local communities across the country and around the world. We're your hosts, Millie, Condon, and Jimmy Bulmer. Welcome to the show, Jimmy.
Hey, Millie. How are you doing today?
Great. It's a long time since you've been my co-host with me.
I know. It's a pleasure to watch you work from behind the scenes, but I love being here on the show.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're so glad to have you. We have a lot going on this weekend. Any special plans?
This weekend, just spend some time with family for Easter Sunday and everything. Get to hang out with my dad, my niece. It'll be a good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
How about you?
Yes, pretty much the same. Just hanging out with the family. Maybe an Easter egg hunt here or there.
Nice. That's awesome.
See. Yeah, definitely.
What's going on in your world?
Well, there's certainly a lot going on because of graduation coming up. I can't believe it.
Ooh, you ready? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, just a lot of different things on my calendar for sure. Senior week, the senior formal's coming up, but also I'm preparing for my new job that I have at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Albany.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm preparing for that. Also, we have on April 26th, the dodgeball tournament for the Boys and Girls Club is coming up. So
where's that taking place?
That is actually taking place right here at Siena College.
Awesome.
Right in the gym. If any of our listeners are interested in signing up for a team, make sure you contact us at the Boys and Girls Club. You can just go to bgcalbany.com, and there is a button to sign up for a team. So be sure to keep that in mind, but that'll be really, really exciting. People get extremely competitive.
Awesome. Unfortunately, I won't be able to participate this year. But
bummer.
It was a lot of fun in the previous years. So have a good time. Go and sign up. Bring a bunch of your friends. It'll be a good time.
Absolutely.
And in our world, in Vista, we're actually in the thick of recruitment season. We have around 20 positions that we're hiring for coming up for the start of our summer cohort. Mm-hmm. And we had just finished Vista leader interviews, so I was hiring for my replacement, which is exciting, but also nerve-wracking. But we got some really good candidates that we're extending offers to. That's
really, really exciting. It's going to be quite different for me this year for Vista because I will be the Vista site supervisor. So
Boys and Girls Club's lucky to have you as a supervisor.
Club. So it'll be quite different for me to transition roles and being someone's boss.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's a Vista. That's going to be really exciting, though. I'm looking forward to that for sure. But without further ado, I'd love to introduce our two guests that we have with us today. We have Susan Senecal, who is the president of ZONTA Club of Schenectady, and we also have Kristen Holler, who is the executive director of Albany Barn Incorporated and advocacy committee chair for ZONTA Club of Schenectady. So welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
So before we start talking to you, I'm just going to give a little bit of background information on both of you. So Susan Senecal is an RN hospital and community liaison for Pathways Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Niskuna. She is the current president of the ZONTA Club of Schenectady and the ZONTA District 2 Amelia Earhart Chair. Kristen Holler is a native of the Capital Region and has worked with Albany Barn in various capacities since 2006, including being the founding board member and director of volunteer coordination. Ms. Holler received a bachelor's in Community and Human Services Administration from Empire State College. Professional experience includes several years in Community and Human Services with Schenectady ARC and Bethesda House of Schenectady, as well as 12 years in the theatrical costuming industry with the Costumer Incorporated. Very cool. Ms. Holler is a member of the Society for Human Resources Management, Capital District Human Resources Association, Women in Development of Northeastern New York, and ZONTA International. So once again, welcome to the show. Both of you have quite impressive biographies.
Yeah, welcome. That's really impressive. So here on Changemakers, we like to start the show by getting to know our special guests a little and the organizations that we work with. Can you tell us a little bit about the ZONTA Club of Schenectady?
Sure. This is Susan, and I'll take that question. ZONTA Club was formed in 1919 in Buffalo, New York, and in 1927, the Schenectady Charter was formed. ZONTA is an international organization, and right now in District 2, which is what we're in, there are 21 clubs. Those go from Ottawa, Canada, to Montreal, to down south as far as the Upper Hudson region, and out far as west as Auburn and Watkins Glen. So it's quite a diverse district that we have. I like it because we have international clubs in our district, which is great. ZONTA has over 1,200 clubs.
Wow.
In 67 countries. So it's a very interesting organization.
What is the mission of the club?
The mission is to empower women through service and advocacy, just as a brief thing. What we really are trying to do is to promote human rights and realize that women rights are human rights. Mm-hmm. And so that's basically what we're trying to do.
Wow, that's some awesome work. So what's the structure of the ZONTA Club of Schenectady,
The structure, well, we are, as I say, we're a club, mm-hmm. and then we're in District 2, and then over that is the ZONTA mm-hmm. International. We have about 30 members in our club. We're always looking for new members. We're always looking for young members. Kristen is a new member, and we are so happy to have her because she's so enthusiastic and brings a lot of talent, as you can see by her bio, to our club.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Kristen, can you tell us a little bit about how and why you got started working with the ZONTA Club?
Absolutely. So for me, ZONTA is so much about empowering and advocating for women, not just locally, but internationally. But for me, it really was that local focus and having an idea of ways to get involved right in my own community that would impact my fellow women, families. And I just was very impressed by the work being done by the women of the ZONTA Club of Schenectady. They've worked for countless organizations, including, Safe Inc. They do a lot of work for the YWCA of Northeastern New York, the Aerosciences Museum. So they kind of span the gamut of different programs and services that ZONTA Club supports. And for me, that was just a great way to get involved right in my own backyard and really have an impact in the lives of women.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So now, Susan, how did you initially get started with the ZONTA Club, and what made you want to take on such a great leadership role as being the president?
Well, back in the day when I was in high school in Saratoga Springs, there was a Z Club, which is a high school part of the ZONTA Club. Mm-hmm. There's no longer a ZONTA Club in Saratoga, so right now the Schenectady Club encompasses Schenectady County plus southern Saratoga County. There is an Albany Club, there is a Glens Falls Club, but there's no Saratoga Club. And my husband and I lived overseas for many years when we were first married. He was a Russian linguist and then went on to do international banking. We lived in Saudi Arabia, actually. And so when we came back to this area, the thought of being in an international organization was very appealing to me. Mm-hmm. So it was the international piece that pulled me in originally.
Awesome. And you touched base a little bit about the mission of the ZONTA Club, but are there any kind of trademark events or programs that you have or that you run on a regular basis for the community?
Yes, well, scholarship, of course, is a very important piece of this, and we do give 4 high school scholarships a year. 2 of those can go on to the winners can go on to district to see if they win the district scholarship. We give a scholarship to Schenectady County Community College to a woman going back to school who is doing well. That's a larger scholarship than the high school ones, and we are looking to do one in aviation at Schenectady Community College for a woman in the aviation field because Amelia Earhart was a Zontian, and so we have a very close relationship with Amelia Earhart, and ZONTA International gives $10,000 Amelia Earhart scholarships to over 65 women every year. They've given thousands and thousands of dollars to women in the aviation field.
Very cool. So now, what is some of well, how often do you guys meet? What does a meeting look like for you?
We meet once a month, the third Tuesday of every month, and we either meet at the Mohawk Country Club or we meet at the Aerosciences Museum when we're having a non-dinner meeting.
Okay. And what do you guys normally focus on? Or I should say ladies, I'm sorry.
We run the gamut. We've had all kinds of interesting speakers. Last month, we had Ellie, I can't remember her last name, but she's with the Mooncatchers Project, which I don't know if you've heard of it, but it would take a lot to get into it. But let's just say it's a very interesting project for supplying sanitary products to the women in Africa. And along with that is the new project that's going on with the Schenectady Junior League called Discreet Dignity, which we're collecting sanitary supplies for women in this area who cannot afford them.
Wow. That's some awesome work that you're doing. I mean, it really is amazing.
Absolutely.
So right now we have a little bit of time left, about 30 seconds. We're going to be touching base on the Mom Prom right when we get back. So stay tuned. We're here on Changemakers on WVCR 88.3 The Saint. Thank you, Susan and Kristen, for being our special guest today. We'll be right back after a brief public service announcement.
I can change the world. I'll be somebody in your universe. Change the world.
Welcome back to the Changemakers radio show on WVCR 88.3 The Saint. Awarded the New York State Broadcasting Association Serving New York 2014 and 2015 award. We profile changemakers across the country and around the world. So we have been speaking with Susan Senecal, who is the president of the Schenectady ZONTA Club, and Kristen Holler, who is the executive director of Albany Barn Incorporated and advocacy chair for the ZONTA Club of Schenectady. So thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you.
So before the break, we spoke about the ZONTA Club of Schenectady, your involvement and your mission. Now we'd like to shift the focus a little bit to your upcoming Mom Prom event. That sounds so fun. Tell us about Kristen, what is the Mom Prom?
So Mom Prom is actually a national ladies' night out for charity that the ZONTA Club of Schenectady participates in. So the Schenectady Mom Prom, despite its name, is not just for moms, but is just for ladies.
Okay.
And it's essentially a celebration of women coming together for a great cause. This year with the Mom Prom, we will be benefiting the YWCA of Northeastern New York.
Okay.
So all funds raised through the event will benefit directly the YWCA of Northeastern New York and specifically their domestic violence programs.
Okay, great.
So the event is really just meant to be a throwback to, kind of your prom days. We encourage everyone to get dressed up, in whatever prom attire they feel fit, and they come out for dancing. We have a great band lined up. The Headroom Band will be playing this year. We do great contests. There's terrific food. It's going to be at the Water's Edge Lighthouse in Glenville. And so it'll just be a really fun night for ladies to come together, kind of in celebration of women doing good things for each other. And this year, we're actually really excited. We're going to be honoring Sandra Stevens from Sandra's Fine Jewelry in Schenectady, who is a pretty well-known sort of women's advocate in our area as our 2015 Mom Prom. So Mom Prom Queen. So we're very excited about that
awesome.
this year. So she'll be honored at the event as well.
So now, how did this idea come to fruition? Who started this? I mean, it's so creative.
This was started by a gal in Michigan who was going through her closet and found a bunch of old prom dresses and started trying them on and thought, wouldn't it be fun to have some kind of a little get-together with my friends and maybe raise some money? So it first started out in I think it was a VFW hall or something like that, and they raised a small amount of money, people just wearing old prom gowns. It has now morphed into a national thing, and the fun of it is if you have an old prom gown, to wear it. And if you can't get into it, I have seen people. I've been to some different mom proms, one in New Hampshire and one in Saratoga, and people come in their dresses. They don't fit, so they've got T-shirts on underneath them, and there's just zipped up halfway. They wear
awesome.
combat boots with them. The funkier, the better. We do give a prize for the tackiest prom gown. This year, we're going to be doing some other levels of prizes for different types of gowns. So it really is a lot of fun. We have dance contests. We had a hula hoop contest one year. And this is our fourth mom prom. First one I went to, as I said, was in New Hampshire, was one of my friend's daughters who was giving this for breast cancer. And I brought the idea back to the Schenectady Club and thought, well, let's see if it will fly. I didn't have to twist too many arms for them to decide that maybe we should give this a try, which we did. We had very small number of people. The first year it was held in downstairs of Proctor's Theater in the education room. We spent hours trying to decorate the place, which is all very industrial looking. And if you've ever been to the basement at Proctor's, it's not much to look at, which they donated for us. And we had a wonderful time. And the next year we had at Hibernian Hall, and we had a few more people. And last year it was at the Water's Edge, and we had a lot more people. And this year we're hoping to sell out at 150 people.
Wow, that's awesome. And it seems like a really fun time. I'm kind of jealous I can't go. But this is the fourth annual. Can you tell us a little bit about the legacy of the previous years? I know that each year you have a recipient of the donations that you do collect. Can you let us know a little bit about the past organizations that you've been able to help as a result of this mom prom?
Yes, the first year we helped Safe Inc., which is they were building their new shelter at that time, and the ZONTA Club of Schenectady had made a promise to do a room at the tune of $5,000, and so that's what we were hoping to raise to be able to give them, and that's what our goal is each time, is to raise $5,000 or more. And the second year, we took in the Veterans Women's Shelter in Ballston Spa, which that was very gut-wrenching for me, because to think that a female veteran would be homeless is just beyond words. And so it was very touching, and we had a number of the women who were living in the shelter came to the event and had prom dresses donated by La Moda Lisa in Glenville, and it was just a really heartwarming event. Wow. Last year it was for Bellevue Women's Center for women's health issues, and this year the YWCA of Northeastern New York.
Wow.
Okay. So how do you guys decide who gets to be the recipient of every year of the mom prom?
Well, we kind of started out with Safe because we knew that we were going to be raising money for their shelter, for the room that we were doing. And then we just kind of discuss amongst ourselves as to who might be worthy. What we really should do is send out an RFP for people to see, who might be our next year's recipient. But we encourage people, if they're interested in being a recipient, to let us know, and we'll certainly consider them.
Okay, great. So how can our listeners find out more information about the mom prom?
So you can find out all of the information about the mom prom at schenectadymomprom.eventbrite.com.
Okay.
Nice. And can anybody attend this? I know, obviously, women, ladies' night, but can any of our listeners that are hearing about this attend?
Yeah, sorry, Jimmy, that you can't be involved. But yes, any ladies, it is a 21 and over event, but aside from that, anyone is able to attend, ladies only.
It's okay. No hard feelings.
You'll be there in spirit.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great event.
I don't know, Jimmy. Maybe you should start your own band or something, and then maybe you could be there as a band member, because we don't require that they be all female band members.
Oh, awesome. I was in a show choir in high school, so maybe I can get some of my old fellow show choir members back and we could perform.
But that would mean that you have to wear a prom dress, Jimmy.
I've done it here on campus for the Women's Center. When I was a student, actually, we would help promote our Cinderella project, which collects dresses for girls in the capital region who need a little assistance. And I was at the club fair wearing the prom dress to help promote the Women's Center, get students to sign up, and just raise awareness about some of the great initiatives that the Women's Center does here on campus. So I would have no problem wearing a prom dress if I had to.
We'll have to talk about that and see if we can't do that.
Awesome. Sounds good.
And that brings me to a good question is, do you have any male volunteers or anybody who is a male that helps out with the ZONTA Club? Because I know here at the Women's Center, like Jimmy said, we do have members who are male.
There are male members of ZONTA clubs. We don't have any right at the moment, but yes, you can join the ZONTA Club. We're not sexist at all. So any man who's interested in promoting women's rights, I have to say that all of our husbands are honorary members because, they have to put up with a lot.
That's awesome. And just in general, if someone is listening and they would like to volunteer, do you have a need for volunteers for this event?
For volunteers, probably not for this event, but some of our other events that we have coming up, if we're doing something for Habitat for Humanity or some of these other things that we're focusing on, we'll let you know.
Awesome. Actually, that leads into our next question. I was going to ask, what other events do you have coming up? Is there anything that you'd like to highlight here for our listeners?
The only event that we're doing right now is we're taking collections of the sanitary items for this Discreet Dignity program. And they can get in touch with any ZONTA Club member if they want to donate any of those items. And we don't have a specific collection point where we can take them. We will be taking them at the prom if anybody wants to bring those items. But right now, that's about it for this year so far.
Well,
Awesome.
Definitely keep us posted. And, we always love to ask our guests this very specific question, which is, what does a change maker mean to you? Susan, we'll start with you.
A change maker. Well, I guess for me, that would mean if I can make a change in a woman's life for the better, then I've done something good.
Awesome.
For me, a change maker is somebody who identifies a need or a problem and isn't afraid to kind of make waves and make the suggestion for how to address it. So somebody, I think, change makers are bold and they are action oriented.
I like that. Very good.
Awesome. One last time, can you just tell us the logistics of when the Mom Prom is?
Absolutely. So the 4th annual ZONTA Mom Prom will be held Friday, April 24th at 6:30 at the Water's Edge Lighthouse in Glenville. And again, for more information, people can visit SchenectadyMomProm.eventbrite.com.
Okay. And also, if our listeners are interested in maybe becoming a member or getting more involved, where can they go to find out information about that?
The website is zontadistrict2.org/Schenectady.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Well, we just wanted to say thank you again to both of you for joining us here on Changemakers, and thank you for the work that you do in the capital region, working with these women and helping provide them a future.
Yeah, so thank you again for joining us here on Changemakers. Make sure to like us on Facebook, and remember to join us here every Saturday morning at 10:30 on WVCR 88.3 The Saint.